Hello, biologists. So today we are continuing on with Exploration 2, the Hardy-Weinberg Lab. Last video, we set up our question and used our model to answer that question. So now we need to figure out how to collect our data. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to share my Excel document. And so here's the problem. Every time I do, I don't know what I just did. Every time I do anything on my spreadsheet, all my numbers change, right? So I need a way to record my data that takes out this, this like uncertainty of it all, where not like the randomness uncertainty, but where it's like literally changing all the time. Because otherwise, every time I hit F9, everything's just all different. So I like to do this by opening a new page, a new tab. So I'm going to hit the little plus on the bottom, and I'm going to retitle this data. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my natural selection spreadsheet, and I'm going to take advantage of a special kind of pasting where I can paste only the numbers. And when I paste only the numbers, it divorces them from the formula, and it means that they're not going to change because now they've become just numbers. So I'm just going to highlight my row here with my P and my Q frequencies. I'm going to Control C to copy, and then I'm going to go over here, give myself a little space, right click, and I want to paste my options as the values, okay? So now, all that I have here are my values, and I can hit F9 a million times and they're never going to change because they're just numbers. I've unlinked them to their formulas. And so to collect another row of data, I can just hit Control C again and go back to data and hit paste special numbers, values, okay? And then to do it again, to collect more and more data, all I need to do is Control C and then paste special with just the values. And in fact, excuse me, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna not collect those P's and Q's, and we'll clean up this data in a little bit, don't worry. Because right now it's not very nice to do stuff with. So I'm just going to collect this row right here because I don't really need that row that tells me P and Q. Because as long as I'm always putting it in the same spot here in the spreadsheet, it'll always be the same P and Q, okay? So I'm up to 4 trials. Like, isn't this the world's easiest data collection now? Control C again, and then data, paste special, 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I even need to go back and hit Control C. And I just, oh, I messed it up. Okay, so back, Control C, data, paste special 1, 2, 3, and then go down a row. Can I just do it again? Paste special 1, 2, 3. Ha! It is different. Okay, and then go down a row and paste special 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then go down a row. So look at how literally easy this is. All because every time I paste, it's like hitting F9, it updates my spreadsheet. Like literally all I need to do is hit paste and then it updates my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet refreshes itself. The random values make everything a little bit different. So it doesn't get any easier than that for collecting data. Look, every time I do this, it's another trial. I ran my population for 10 generations. It's crazy. World's easiest experiment once you get it set up, right? Okay, so I'm going to hit this a handful more times. I want no fewer than 20 trials, right? Because it's so easy to get so many trials, like you want to get a bunch. And yeah. See, how many am I up to? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a spreadsheet. Okay. 17, 18, 19. I want 25. So I'm going to do this 6 more times. 1. Drop down the line. 2. Drop down the line. 3. 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So now I need to do some cleanup. So I'm going to delete these extra rows. I'm going to delete that row. I'm going to delete this row. And then I need to go and do some labeling. So I'm going to go back to my natural selection. And it's going to go up to the top. I forgot, it's really long. It'll take a while. Take the elevator. I'm going to go here and I'm just going to go Control C and Control V. And that way I have them labeled with the generations in excessively large text. So that's fine. I can just make that smaller. Okay. The other thing that I want to do, take this off. I want to line up my generations on top. So I don't want this space between P and Q. I just want them side by side. So I just drag it over there. Generation, I want this right above the word, right above the P. Generation, I want this right above the P. So I have all this extra space between them. I only want one row between them, so I'm just going to delete some of these things. I don't want this here. So it's just going to make it a lot easier for me to visualize my data if it's all kind of in the same place and it's in a cleaner way that I can, I was trying to undo that, in a cleaner way that I can see it all together. And it'll also make it a lot easier for graphing too. Okay, so that was generation 3. And then I can't quite remember what generation. Oh, there it is. That gray box right there, that was my that was where I had my natural selection event. So something about the environment changed there. Drag over my P. Actually, I don't want to drag these all over. I just want to delete some of these. Otherwise, my gap keeps getting bigger, and that's not helpful. Yeah, just replace the word generation buttons, and I'm going to redo it. Generation 5. Okay, drag over my Q's. Nope, don't do that yet. Drag over the P's first, and then put the title. And I'm keeping my P's and my Q's, but you don't really need to, right? Because P plus Q equals 1. So as long as I know my P's, I know my Q's. So really all I need is the P value or the Q value. But I kind of like having them both. It just, I think it, in some ways it can really help get to the point of what I'm trying to show both of them, especially since I am directly changing my Q's with what I did to my populations. So it feels kind of weird just to show the P's to me, but like P's are the one that you normally show because it's like the dominant one. I mean, even though it doesn't even need to be, but that's how we usually think of it. No, I don't know. Okay, almost there. And Q. I think I ended on generation 10. Really hope I did because I'm kind of feeling kind of done with this. Okay, so there is my 10 generations. I had my first 3 generations and then the environment changed according to the story I made up to go with my model, and it made it so that half of the homozygous recessive, the QQ individuals, would die. And so then I had generations 4 through 10 that was following the fate of that population after this natural selection event. So I just collected 25 trials worth of data in approximately a couple of minutes. And then now I have it all here in the spreadsheet. So in the next video, we will figure out how do we want to analyze this data. We'll probably have to do a little more manipulation with them, sorry. But right now, it's all here and it doesn't change. I can hit F9 forever and it's not going to change. It's all solid real numbers that are not tied to a formula anymore, but reflect what happened to my population. So I hope that this made sense to you. If not, let me know and we can work through it together. Okay, I hope you're doing well.